Well, good evening, and you're just in time for TV47 weekend. 4 days into the month of December. Trust you're doing well wherever you may just be joining us from. We have a lot lined up for you, but first things first, look at our top stories tonight. More than 20 people dead following Mwingi bus tragedy.
Watu ambao walitolewa kwanza, watu ambao walipata ajali katika hii migodi ni watu 10. Wawili wakatolewa siku hiyo, alafu jana wawili wakatolewa, mmoja akiwa hai, mwingine akiwa amefariki.
One person dead as another one is rescued from the mine as rescue efforts continue for a third day.
Here we are going to put proper money in agriculture vile tulikuwa tumepanga ndani ya Big Four.
Ruto was Nyeri residents.
We are very solid, we know where we are going.
Tunataka Wakenya wafahamu, kwa mfano pia tunazungumza na Mount Kenya Unity Forum.
As Mudavadi and Kalonzo pitch tent in Nairobi. Well, my name is Grace Josephine, and I'm in the company of Catherine Simaloy, our sign language interpreter this evening. Now, 23 people have died, among them 15 members of the same family, after a bus plunged into River Enziu in Mwingi, Kitui County. The 23 were part of an entourage that was going to attend a wedding ceremony of an elderly couple aged over 70 years. Liza Mutuku begins tonight's broadcast with this devastating story.
Few minutes before they boarded the school bus, the choir members at the Mwingi Catholic Church cheerfully posed for photos and videos with hope that they will join their friends and families for a wedding ceremony. Little did they know of the nightmare that awaited them as they boarded the bus to join their parents, friends and church members at No Area, Mwingi Region, Kitui County for a glamorous wedding of an elderly couple aged 70 years who were renewing their vows on the fateful day. Upon takeoff, the confident driver didn't know the tides in the swollen River Enziu were stronger than the bus, and within a minute, the bus plunged into water with over 20 people losing their lives. Already 20 bodies have been retrieved.
Kuna gari ambayo imeingia mahali hapa mwendo wa kitu kama saa 7. Kwa wakati huu tumekwisha okoa watu kama ndani 15 tumeshaokoa, na bado shughuli ya uokoaji inaendelea. Tumekwisha toa miili 22 na bado tunaendelea na shughuli ya kuokoa miili bado. Ile gari bado imezama mahali hapa ndani na bado
The identities of those who drowned could not be immediately established, but police confirmed that among the dead was Miss Jane Mutua, daughter to the bridegroom and her 3 children. Leaders urging drivers to exercise caution while on the roads. Deputy President William Ruto, Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu and her Machakos counterpart Alfred Mutua condoling with the families.
It's my Machakos rescue team that has been rescuing people from rivers and others, and they're on the way to Mwingi to assist where they can at this time to try and save some lives. It is quite heartbreaking, and I urge all drivers at this moment, wherever the river is covered by water, wherever a place is covered by water, even 1 inch of water is enough to get a bus going or a car or anything. Please, please, please do not play with water. Just wait until the water subsides. Hakuna haraka, hakuna mahali hiyo inchi inaenda, hakuna nyumba inahama. Just wait. It is better than losing so many.
This comes just a few weeks after 15 people perished in a fatal accident in Embu County. Elizabeth Mutuku, TV47.
Well, our heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families. Moving on, Bondo residents in Siaya County have retrieved a body from the debris of a gold mine that collapsed in the area on Thursday, trapping 10 miners as the rescue operation enters day 3. At the same time, a miner was rescued by the residents with efforts to rescue the remaining 6 from the mine underway. Bondo Deputy County Commissioner Richard Karani says all 6 trapped miners are still alive, following efforts by the residents to pump oxygen in the mine, with the Deputy County Commissioner expressing confidence that the miners will be rescued alive. On Thursday, 2 miners managed to crawl out of the gold mine with minor injuries in a tragedy that saw Siaya Senator James Orengo visit the site to assess the situation.
Aliyetolewa akiwa hai, alitolewa saa 7 na dakika 20 na yule alitolewa kama amefariki saa 9 kamili asubuhi ya leo. Kwa hivyo bado kuna watu 6 pale chini migodini ambao wanatafutwa. Timu yetu ya vijana ambao wanatoka area hii wanashughulika kuhakikisha kwamba wanatoa wale vijana wakiwa hai. Kule ndani kuna machine inapiga hewa kule ndani, compressor inapiga hewa kule ndani iweze kusaidia wale ambao tunatarajia kuwapata na wale ambao pia wanasaidia.
Elsewhere, residents of Chemoy, Baringo North in Baringo County are staring at huge losses after bandits staged another attack in their village before making away with more than 100 heads of cattle. According to the residents, the bandits shot in the air, forcing herders to scamper for safety before driving the cattle towards Ripkor in Tayati constituency at around 10 a.m. Saturday morning. Police have launched a manhunt for the attackers, with the incident coming barely days after suspected bandits shot 5 people and stole 200 heads of cattle in Marakwet East. Well, in the political scene, Deputy President William Ruto today took his vote-hunting mission to Nyeri County, where he promised Kenyans that he will initiate a public-funded health insurance scheme that will enable every Kenyan to cater for their medical bills if elected president come 2022. And as Mwangi Maina reports, the Deputy President dished out over 7 million shillings in his first day of his 2-day tour of Nyeri County.
Deputy President William Ruto today kicked off his 2-day tour of Nyeri County, a week after ODM leader Raila Odinga held his Azimio la Umoja campaigns in the same county. Ruto, who traversed Madera, Mukurweini, Othaya and Nyeri town constituencies, assured Kenyans his government will prioritize healthcare and ensure a better national health insurance scheme where Kenyans will pay according to their ability.
We are going to have a public-funded health insurance scheme that will make sure that every citizen of Kenya can pay their hospital bills without resorting to go and sell their property.
The second in command said he will set aside 100 billion Kenya shillings for the youth to aid in creation of millions of jobs in the country. Ruto further promised to set aside 50 billion Kenya shillings that will boost small and medium business enterprises to ensure they remain afloat.
80% ya biashara ya Kenya inaendeshwa na micro, small and medium enterprise. Hawa wafanyabiashara wa chini. Na hawa wafanyabiashara wa chini hawana uwezo wa kukopa pesa kwa benki kwa sababu hawajulikani, hawana security.
Utusaidie kutengeneza guaranteed minimum return, tupate kahawa kutoka shilingi 130. Your Excellency, hawa watu ya Mukurweini ni wakulima hodari ya maziwa, na tungetaka hii maziwa tunanunuliwa shilingi 40, ukienda kwa supermarket unauziwa 120. Tungetaka itoke 40 ifike angalau 60, ndio watu wapate kitu ya kukula.
Kuna agenda za kusaidia watu wa Mount Kenya. Ameongea mambo ya kahawa, mambo ya majani, mambo ya maziwa. Mtachagua Ruto.
The Deputy President and his entourage popularized his proposed economic model, while at the same time assuring Nyeri residents that he will revive and carry on the Jubilee government's Big Four agenda, accusing ODM leader Raila Odinga of derailing the Jubilee government Big Four agenda.
Next year we are going to put proper money in agriculture vile tulikuwa tumepanga ndani ya Big Four, ili tuhakikishe ya kwamba mkulima wa chai, mkulima wa kahawa, mkulima wa maziwa, mkulima wa mahindi, mkulima wa sukari wanapata pesa ya sawasawa kama wakulima, ili tuweke pesa kwa mifugo ya wakulima na tuondoe mabroka na makatel, ili chakula ifike sokoni kwa bei nafuu.
We have no constitutional moment in Kenya. What we have in Kenya today is an economic crisis, an economy that is in depression, an economy that needs a plan, a workable plan, like bottom up.
Nyeri County Assembly Speaker John Kagushia, who accompanied Ruto in his campaigns, joined the United Democratic Alliance formally and declared his bid for the Mukurweini Member of Parliament.
Shukuru sana Your Excellency, the Deputy President. Na sisi tunakuambia kwamba tunasimama na wewe mpaka mwisho.
Nakubaliana mimi tubadilishe uchumi kwanza nione.
As the Deputy President continues with his charm offensive in the Mount Kenya region, UDA allied MPs have castigated President Uhuru Kenyatta over his State of the Nation address given to the country last week, alluding that his advisors are misleading him on the true state of the nation. Mwangi Maina, TV47 from Nyeri Town.
Well, remember that ODM leader Raila Odinga was in Nyeri less than a week ago, and many are questioning, is Ruto's generous handouts a way to counter Odinga? Well, that is up to you to tell us on www.tv47.co.ke, at TV47 Kenya, at W Grace Josephine. Well, moving on, One Kenya Alliance principals have vowed to remain united despite reports that the alliance is staring at a nasty split. Josh Onsare now reports.
Despite speculations that One Kenya Alliance is drifting apart, the alliance principals Musalia Mudavadi of ANC and Kalonzo Musyoka of Wiper have refuted claims of what has been termed as gradual fall and disintegration of the alliance.
One Kenya Alliance is a solid alliance, minus all the negative speculation, perhaps even manipulation. We are very solid, we know where we are going.
Tunataka Wakenya wafahamu, kwa mfano pia tunazungumza na Mount Kenya Unity Forum, Martha Karua, William Kabogo, JB Muturi. Kwa hivyo majadilio kama haya ni lazima tuyapeleke kwa njia ya kitaratibu, ili hatimaye wakati tutakuwa tuko tayari sasa kwa kuzindua yale ambayo tumeyapanga kwa Wakenya, tutayazindua kama yamepangika vizuri.
While attending a church service in Nairobi East SDA, the principals have called on IEBC to conduct a credible elections. Further, Kalonzo and Mudavadi applauded IEBC for pulling out of the Election Preparedness Committee.
Tunataka tume ya uchaguzi ipewe pesa za kutosha kupitia kwa mipangilio ya serikali, na wapewe nafasi yao kujipange vilivyo, ili uchaguzi ambao utakuweko mwaka wa 2022 uwe uchaguzi ambao utaaminika kwa Wakenya na utaaminika katika nchi za kimataifa.
The leaders have asked Kenyans to pray for the country and elect leaders who will grow the economy in the next general election.
Let us pray individually and collectively so that Kenya remains stable, Kenya remains peaceful, and Kenya remains united. And those who have been charged with responsibility to ensure that we remain that way do not waver.
Tunataka kuhakikisha Wakenya wenzetu kwamba sisi tuko timu moja hodari sana, timu ambayo haibaduki, na tunajua ni wapi tunataka kuelekeza nchi yetu hii. Tunaposema tutapigana na umaskini, napigana na ufisadi.
Joash Onsare, TV47, Nairobi.
Well, it's right about 15 minutes past the hour, and that report by Josh brings us to our very first bidder. Don't go too far away.
Entrepreneurs around the country are creatively grinding.
I started with a borrowed phone.
A borrowed phone?
Yeah, that could last 2 hours with charge.
We just have to do quality work for them.
To make their mark in an unpredictable market.
It was now going on a sales venture, looking for stockists door to door.
On the grind, we bring you their stories so you can tell yours. Every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Men are known to be the pillars.
We're rising up together.
Say your point.
You need an alpha male now to come and help you and your girl.
Hi, ameongea zero.
And women, they are the cornerstone that hold the pillars.
Don't be entitled. A man is peaceful, a man knows how to talk to a lady.
This November, the Men's Conference brings a cocktail of diverse ladies to weigh in on various matters.
Something I'd love more to see is men being able to exist as themselves.
Tune in every Wednesday at 10 p.m.
Hello guys, and welcome to Night In with Joy Irungu. Joy Irungu. Joy Irungu.
Heartbreak, pain, and tears have been a major part of Night In Season 1. We thank you for being with us on this journey, and for this upcoming season, we will bring you more empowering stories that not everyone is talking about.
This is the only show where we keep it authentic. We share our lifetime experiences, and you know what? Tell every person that you can turn your pain into power.
Join Joy Irungu on Night In as we take the brave step of sharing.
The road to 2022 is becoming tougher.
Nyuma ya wheelbarrow kuna economic model.
And trickier with each passing day.
Niliwaambia washushe chini bei ya mafuta.
Political aspirants in a dilemma whether to change allegiance or not.
How has Raila and the handshake made Jubilee lose focus?
You've seen Raila Odinga flying military choppers.
Our people have never been called to Uhuru Park to unite. They have always united out of their own volition.
Reduce your madness.
Kenyans are suffering.
Would it be fair to conclude?
I don't want your station to be sued. That Jubilee government has never been able to sponsor any successful project.
Every Monday at 9:30 p.m., Pundits Night brings you inclusive and candid conversations with the pundits. We say disability is not inability.
Our impairment are not disability. Disability is the barriers put across by the society.
Beyond the Limit gives a voice to those abled differently.
People with special needs can undertake a job, particularly that is customer service focused, as good, if not better than, people that are 100% abled.
We bring you conversations of these great persons, round table conversations, and many more. Every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
Tasty. 100 yani chumvi imeonja kabisa, like you do not need to add anything.
So the first thing you need as a beekeeper is a beehive.
Yes. Even though I know I won't read it as hard because when I'm engaging with time.
You can handle it.
But if you want us to reduce, we can reduce it.
Wake up feeling fresh every morning and knowing that there is a morning show that's got you covered. It's the morning show built just for you. From local headlines, a comprehensive debate, entertainment, and so much more. I'm always thrilled joining you every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on TV47, the home of untold stories.
Kilimo Diaries is not your one-stop show. Sandra Wahito is always on the move to different counties, different farms, and it's always unpredictable. Animals, crops, and advice from both farmers and experts.
Glad to have you back. 4 governors from the Mount Kenya region have hinted at forming a new coalition ahead of next year's general elections. The 4, James Nyoro of Kiambu, Laikipia's Ndiritu Mureithi, Francis Kimemia of Nyandarua, and their Nakuru counterpart Lee Kinyanjui said the Party of National Unity or PNU and Ubuntu People's Forum or UPF are in talks to form a coalition ahead of the 2022 elections.
The meeting was attended by Nakuru Governor Lee Kinyanjui, Nyandarua Governor Francis Kimemia, Laikipia Ndiritu Mureithi, and James Nyoro from Kiambu. Addressing the press in Naivasha, the governors pointed out that they are currently in talks with PNU Party and the Ubuntu People's Forum and are expected to share more details about their new coalition soon.
We should be reaching out to parties outside this bloc, outside the Mount Kenya region. We would like it to be a national coalitions that are able to forge national unity for this country.
On the issue of hotspots and all those things, I think it depends on who the contestants are. In the past, the contestants were the 2 major communities within Nakuru and Rift Valley and so on.
However, the governors have called on their fellow politicians to run peaceful campaigns ahead of the 2022 elections.
Issues to do with incitement, misleading information, arming your people, giving them alcohol and advising them to attack your opponent, those are the issues we need to deal with. But the truth is, nominations that are conducted by anybody who just walks in are simply not nominations.
And also strengthen those institutions that are in charge of national cohesion and integration. I think they've been a bit lukewarm. And I think that would be very, very important to demand that parties also, propagate an ideology that is nationalistic and that brings national unity, national cohesion, and doesn't allow ethnicity to become the issue in the formulation of a political party.
Vin Atieno, TV47.
Still on that political scene, the Service Party leader Mwangi Kionjori has urged Central Kenya residents to be wary of what he termed as suitors eyeing votes from the populous region, yet offer no support in exchange. Kionjori has criticized presidential hopefuls of failing to protect the interest of the region when it comes to legislative matters. Have a look. The Service Party leader Mwangi Kionjori has lashed out at presidential hopefuls Deputy President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga over what he termed as a betrayal of the mountain. Speaking at Engineer Kinangop during the launch of a TSP Nyandarua chapter office, Kionjori accused Odinga and Ruto of failing to marshal the troops in parliament in support of bills that would benefit the vote-rich Mount Kenya region.
That the truth that you have betrayed us even before you have been elected. You, Ruto, Raila, you have betrayed us even before we have elected you. So whoever is coming to us must now convince us, must tell us that the issues of Nyandarua will be addressed. They must write somewhere agreement between the leaders of Nyandarua and themselves before they do the other agreement in Nairobi. Na hiyo ndio ukweli wa mambo. Wakati tunalia bunge, hamkuji pande yetu. Wakati tunatetea pesa ya watu wetu bunge, milango yote mbili na wanataka tuwachague, wanakataa. Saa hii wanazunguka huku kutuelezea ati shida zetu watatatua.
Another presidential hopeful, National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi, took his presidential campaigns to his home turf of Mbeere North. Meanwhile, UD-affiliated members in Embu County urged Muturi to join the Hustler Nation movement and deputize Ruto.
Na nikiangalia Mount Kenya yote, tutoke Meru, tuende mpaka kule Murang'a, tuende Kiambu, tuende Laikipia, tuende Nakuru, sioni kiongozi ambaye amefika kiwango ya JB Muturi. Kwa hivyo mimi nataka kumwambia aendelee hivyo hivyo, na tukienda hapo mbele sometime next year, tungetaka tuketi pamoja tuone vile tutahakikisha tumetengeneza serikali. Na ile kiti mimi ningetaka akuwe the last resort kwake ni kiti ya deputy president, na ningetaka waongee na Deputy President William Ruto, kwa sababu najua Deputy President William Ruto anamuheshimu sana na anajua hata yeye ametosha. Kanati andoeto.
With the 2022 general elections less than 8 months away, the two most popular presidential aspirants have been on a vigorous charm offensive of the mountain. The March 2018 handshake between Odinga and President Kenyatta granted him unlimited access to the region, relatively popularizing his Azimio la Umoja campaign. However, on the other hand, Ruto has been promoting his bottom-up economic model in the president's backyard, a move that has divided MPs from the Mount Kenya region.
Yenye tumeweka milioni 100 hapa Njoro.
Kiunjuri is yet to declare his political ambitions ahead of the August 2022 general election, which pundits say is a two-horse race between Odinga and Ruto. On the way from that, police in Nyandarua have nabbed Bang with a street value of 6 million shillings at a private home in Olkalau that was on transit from Migori to Mombasa. Willie Dennis Njiru with that report.
This consignment goes to the records in the history of this town as largest single to ever be nabbed. The cannabis sativa stashed in format popularly known as Karanja, destined for Mombasa County from the county of Migori, halted in Nyandarua.
The citizens are now taking immediate measures to ensure that there is rule of law and that they apprehend criminals and that they provide intelligence and information to our security forces. And this is what led to the arrest of the vehicle that was ferrying cannabis sativa or bangi worth over 6 million shillings.
Tutafuata mpaka the source, kwa sababu hatutashika tu hivi na tuache pale lilitoka. Tutafuatilia kwa sababu ni kama industry. Ukiangalia hii si kazi ya mtu mmoja, imegharimu vijana wengi.
Mungai Ndongo, the main suspect and the driver of the doomed vehicle in police custody, hails from Kiamunyi in Nakuru City. It is alleged that he defied police orders to stop on the Nyahururu Olkalau Road, circumventing an arrest by hiding the car to a nearby home.
Akaniambia nimpatie parking. Akaniambia nimpatie parking. Aende uko Nyahururu, gari yake inamwaga mafuta. Gari yake inamwaga, akaenda mafuta oil. Nikapatwa na wasiwasi. Mimi nikapatwa na wasiwasi.
Sasa nilipokuja nikamwambia wacha tu tugoje. Na tuongezee watu wengine tukae hapa hata ingawa tujui gari iko na nini. Watu waliendelea kuja. Wakaona ni kama gari haina kitu. Na mimi nikamwambia hii gari iko na kitu, lakini tutaiangalia saa hii. Kuna watu wengi. Tutaiangalia jioni.
Curious and suspicious neighbors stayed up all night as they waited for the driver of the vehicle to show up.
Tukakuja pale saa 1. Tulipokuja saa 1 tukakaa pale kutoka saa 1 mpaka saa 1:30. Ndio tukafikiria tukasema hii gari hakuna, hatuwezi lalisha gari ambayo hatujui imebeba nini. Lazima tuangalie tujue imebeba nini. Huyo makanika tukaita makanika. Makanika alipokuja kuchungulia kwa kioo ndo akaona mlango moja hujafungwa. Tulipoenda kufungua kusema ukweli hii bangi ilimwagika.
How the driver of the lorry evaded all police barriers all the way from Migori to Olkalau remains a mystery.
The vehicle must have traveled all the way from the lake to be arrested in Nyandarua County and to try to divert from Nakuru to Nairobi, diverting through the rural counties where security is even more tighter. They can now see security is even more tighter. Urge those security officers who are manning the roads to be more vigilant.
Hawa watu wanajua, na hata gari hii ndio inaswa ilikuwa imekimishwa kutoka hapa Olkalao na askari wa trafiki na akaweza kuingia katika vichochoro. Kwa hivyo hata hawa wenyewe wako na akili, wanapitia njia kichochoro, hawapiti kule ambapo wanaweza kubanwa.
Police have urged members of the public to be cautious and report any suspicious activities within their neighborhood to ensure safety this festive season.
Another time it could be acts of terrorism or goods that can destroy people. So we would like to appreciate the police officers from Nyandarua County who arrested that bandit together with the citizens, but also urge other security officers on the roads, manning the roadblocks and so on, to be extra vigilant, especially during these festive seasons.
Watu watatoka mbalimbali wakuja wafanye uhalifu katika eneo letu, na kwa hivyo wananchi muwe mtihadhari. Mkiona mtu ambaye mnashuku kwa njia yoyote ile, tafadhali toa ripoti kwa idara ya usalama.
Reporting for TV47 from Olkalao in Nyandarua County, I'm Willie Dennis Njiru.
Well, civic responsibility and that report by our very own Dennis Njiru brings us to our second break. Don't go too far away as we have a lot more lined up for you.
Entrepreneurs around the country are creatively grinding.
I started with a borrowed phone.
A borrowed phone?
Yeah, that could last 2 hours with charge.
We just have to do quality work for them.
To make their mark in an unpredictable market.
It was now going on a sales venture, looking for stockists door to door.
On the grind, we bring you their stories so you can tell yours. Every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Men are known to be the pillars.
We're rising up together.
Say your point.
You need an alpha male now to come and help you and your girl.
Anaongea zero.
And women, they are the cornerstone that hold the pillars.
Don't be entitled. A man is peaceful, a man knows how to talk to a lady.
This November, the Men's Conference brings a cocktail of diverse ladies to weigh in on various matters.
Something I'd love more to see is men being able to exist as themselves.
Tune in every Wednesday at 10 p.m.
Hello guys and welcome to Night In with Joy Irungu. Joy Irungu. Joy Irungu.
Heartbreak, pain and tears have been a major part of Night In Season 1. We thank you for being with us on this journey, and for this upcoming season, we will bring you more empowering stories that not everyone is talking about.
This is the only show where we keep it authentic. We share our lifetime experiences, and you know what? Tell every person that you can turn your pain into power.
Join Joy Irungu on Night In as we take the brave step of sharing.
The road to 2022 is becoming tougher.
Nyuma ya wheelbarrow kuna economic model.
And trickier with each passing day.
Niliwaambia washushe chini bei ya mafuta.
Political aspirants in a dilemma whether to change allegiance or not.
How has Raila and the handshake made Jubilee lose focus?
You've seen Raila Odinga flying military choppers.
Our people have never been called to Uhuru Park to unite. They have always united out of their own volition.
Reduce your madness.
Kenyans are suffering.
Would that be fair to conclude?
I don't want your station to be sued. That Jubilee government has never been able to sponsor any successful project.
Every Monday at 9:30 p.m., Pundits Night brings you inclusive and candid conversations with the pundits. We say disability is not inability.
Our impairment are not disability. Disability is the barriers put across by the society.
Beyond the Limit gives a voice to those abled differently.
People with special needs can undertake a job, particularly that is customer service focused, as good, if not better than people that are 100% abled.
We bring you conversations of these great persons, round table conversations, and many more. Every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
Tasty. 100 yani chumvi imeonja kabisa, like you do not need to add anything.
So the first thing you need as a beekeeper is a beehive.
Yes. Even though I know I won't read it as such because when I'm engaging the time.
You can handle it. But if you want us to reduce, we can reduce it.
Wake up feeling fresh every morning and knowing that there is a morning show that's got you covered. It's the morning show built just for you. From local headlines, comprehensive debates, entertainment, and so much more. I'm always thrilled joining you every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on TV47, the home of untold stories.
Kilimo Diaries is not your one-stop show. Sandra Wahito is always on the move to different counties, different farms, and it's always unpredictable. Animals, crops, and advice from both farmers and experts.
We also add calcium sulfate when it's too basic.
Every Sunday at 6:30 p.m., we talk agriculture. Entrepreneurs around the country are creatively grinding.
I started with a borrowed phone.
A borrowed phone?
Yeah, that could last 2 hours with charge.
We just have to do quality work for them.
To make their mark in an unpredictable market.
It was now going on a sales venture, looking for stockists door to door.
On the grind, we bring you their stories so you can tell yours. Every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Men are known to be the pillars.
We're rising up together.
Say your point.
You need an alpha male now to come and help you and your girl.
Anaongea zero.
And women, they are the cornerstone that hold the pillars.
Don't be entitled. A man is peaceful, a man knows how to talk to a lady.
This November, the Men's Conference brings a cocktail of diverse ladies to weigh in on various matters.
Something I'd love more to see is men being able to exist as themselves.
Tune in every Wednesday at 10 p.m.
Hello guys and welcome to Night In with Joy Irungu. Joy Irungu.
Heartbreak, pain, and tears have been a major part of Night In Season 1. We thank you for being with us on this journey, and for this upcoming season, we will bring you more empowering stories that not everyone is talking about.
This is the only show where we keep it authentic. We share our lifetime experiences, and you know what? Tell every person that you can turn your pain into power.
Well, thank you for staying with us. Since the inception of the COVID-19 pandemic close to 2 years ago, the worldwide mandatory use of face masks in public places and the use of personal protective equipment in hospitals has become the norm, with billions, if not trillions, of masks and PPEs worn every day, ending up in the environmental ecosystem. A matter experts now warn may just be a potential crisis as the pandemic's expiry date remains unknown. Zena Mohammed with more.
At the entry point of Nairobi's biggest dump site, Dandora, a strong stench hits you as you're met with heaps and heaps of wastes that have now created hills-like stature. Here is where all of Nairobi's waste is dumped, sorted, washed and oftentimes repurposed. This unfortunately including face masks and personal protective gears that are almost always hazardous.
So, and it's also a way of mitigating climate change.
Dr. Caroline Mulinya, a climate and environmental specialist, says this could be a potential crisis in the coming few years.
PPEs are protective gear and they protect against infections. So you can imagine you yourself, Zainabu, getting a mask that some sort, we were thinking it's protecting somebody and putting it, maybe because of lack of knowledge or I think, I don't know if I want to call it of ignorance or lack of sensitization. I don't know what to call it or just, I don't know what to say about it. So it's like you're adding yourself infections because PPEs should be correctly disposed. If possible, they should not get in contact with people. So it is sad to note that somebody can put on a used PPE. That person is adding infections to themselves, and not only to themselves, to the other people who he is gonna be in contact with.
According to Dr. Caroline, lack of an organized waste management program has led to widespread littering and pollution, with experts raising concerns over heat emissions in dumping sites.
COVID-19 pandemic, we don't know how long it's going to be here with us. But what I must emphasize is that we are going to use these PPEs for some time. What I want to emphasize is, and I've always said this, is that sensitization is paramount. If we don't sensitize our people that if you do this, these are the impacts, then we are not going anywhere. People have to be sensitized. People have to be told these PPEs are good, yes, but how do you dispose them off? You can imagine, just look at that scenario. I hope a photographer can take that, but when we leave things hanging like that, so what happens? We are polluting our environment. And once we are polluting our environment, it becomes so inhabitable for us. If it rains, this dirt ends up in the rivers, pollution to the animals, to everything else. So we totally, as human beings, we are to blame.
She says there's dire need for better waste management in the country going forward.
Be a potential crisis. And you see, I've said there are many parameters, or there are many factors, like population explosion. We're giving birth every day in, day out. And if this area maybe was inhabited by 10 people, and in the next 5 years, there are 100, what do you expect? We are putting pressure on all the resources. And of course, wastes, you have your little house there, I have my little house there, everybody has a little house there, we all have our wastes to dispose. So what does that mean to the environment? It's bigger and worse. But you see, if we've been well sensitized on how to manage our wastes, then as much as we are many, we can be able to take charge. But if we don't have that sensitization, and which is not taking place, then we'll have a problem in future.
According to Dr. Caroline, waste separation needs to begin from individual households. This, she says, is a potential solution to the ongoing crisis.
Waste management is important because it helps us to collect, to process, to reuse, and to recycle. And I'm saying, not all wastes are the same. When you eat your ugali and it is left, it is not the same way as the PPE. So when you've taken your soda and you have the plastic bottle, it is not the same as ugali. So this waste should be separated. If they're separated, it becomes easy for you to manage them and even to reuse and to recycle. You can be able to know, these are plastic bottles. How can they be recycled? How can they be reused? This is ugali. This is ugali and some meat bones and so on and so forth. That can easily decompose. Or can you give it to pets? Even giving to pets is a way of waste management.
Data by research scientists at the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute, Gilbert Atuga, showing a total of 23.8 million disposable face masks being used in Kenya every single day. This translating to about 714 million face masks in a month's time. Further, according to a report by the World Wildlife Fund, should one mask weigh at least 4 grams, a total of 28.6 thousand kilograms of plastics are introduced into nature monthly from face masks. A matter that totally undoes the gains made by Kenya in the plastic bag ban in September 2017. 30-year-old Eddie Gitonga, Form 4 leaver, has come up with a brilliant innovation that leans towards separation of wastes.
Completely solar powered.
The innovation that incorporates different aspects of technology in its design was solely created to promote the separation of wastes from the disposal point.
So the T-bin stands for tech bin. So the T-bin is a smart, intelligent, solar-powered segregated waste bin that is supposed to educate the public on how to responsibly dispose waste by separating it. The T-bin comes with an inbuilt CCTV to help strengthen the existing security systems. We've got an additional street lighting to enhance a 24-hour economy and motivate businesses to run a little longer. The T-bin will be used in schools, especially as digital boards and addressing waste management as well. Will be used in airports, in hospitals, in railway stations, in bus stations, in shopping malls. Talk about all the public spaces that we have in gated communities.
According to Eddie, this not only promotes waste separation but also waste reuse, since the organic wastes are disposed separately from the non-organic.
26, there were reports that 10% of global emissions come from dump sites. And dump sites are a global problem. Here in Kenya, we have devolution and waste have been devolved, and we are having dump sites in our counties growing every day. Especially, where I come from, here in Kiambu County, we have had, challenges with several dump sites. The neighborhoods, people living around the neighborhoods complaining. Probably there's a lot of smoke that is coming from the dump sites, or, there's over spillage of this waste. And once we separate this waste, we are able to really have a zero waste free environment, because once waste is mixed up all together, it really doesn't get recycled. It's very expensive for you to recycle a mask or even recycle a plastic bottle because it has been contaminated. Once you mix all the organic waste with the plastics, with the different kind of waste, it doesn't get recycled. It doesn't get to help anyone.
However, both Dr. Caroline and Eddie concur that for this to work, a lot of sensitization and civic education among Kenyans will need to take place.
Something that we all need. We need all hands on deck. We need everyone to, you can start with your own family. You can start by, if, for example, if the T-bin is at school, and then the T-bin, you have kids at school and then they're going home in the evening and then they're going to tell their parents, we have this innovation that came, we have a new dustbin and it is teaching us on how to separate our waste. And then this conversation is going to start from the kids to the parents, or it can start even from the streets. You see this, the T-bin somewhere in town, in Kisumu, and you go and believe and understand that we need to separate this waste from source. This conversation will continue from your house, and you're going to change your systems. You're going to probably have 2 dustbins. One you're going to throw your organic waste, and one you're going to throw your kitchen waste.
We need to be told, ukipatikana unatupa uchafu, because now that's where you are, because now you put on your mask and you're happy, isn't it? But after that, where do you do it? So you should be told, if you're found throwing your masks haphazardly, carelessly, or doing your work carelessly, then you'll be liable to some penalty. Then I think that will help us. And Kenyans, I think we fear issues of fines and penalties. If you are found, like the way you are told, if you are found driving this speed, you'll pay this amount. I think in the same vein, environmentalists need to put in such a radical measures that Zainab, if you are found throwing your masks and that is your house and the masks lying all over, we want to assume they are going to be yours, we are going to fine you maybe 2,000 shillings. I think that can minimize, because issues of policies, we have them. Issues of laws and regulations, we have them. But we don't follow them.
Zainab Mohammed, T47.
Now, in a bid to improve education and tourism sector, Mount Kenya University chairman and founder Simon Gesharu officially commissioned a hotel worth 12 billion shillings in Rwanda. The Mount Kigali Utali Hotel serves as a training ground of students pursuing hospitality and tourism courses. Professor Gesharu says the launch was delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Vice Chancellor at Kigali campus, Edwin Oduno, says the number of students enrolled for the program has increased, with students joining from across the entire African continent.
Ceremony of Mount Kigali Utali Hotel, which is yet another chapter in the history of Mount Kenya University, Rwanda, which I have noted that it is delayed by about 2 years, partly because of COVID pandemic. I wanted to come here earlier on to do the commissioning, but I could not be able to make it, and I have waited up to now for 2 years to come and do what we are doing today.
Over the last few years also, we have seen a lot of interest in growth in terms of student enrollment. About 2 or 3 years ago, we had only about 150 students in hospitality and tourism. Today, as I speak, the program has about 400 students. In a very short period of time, there's been a great interest in the enrollment, but not only from Rwanda. We're having students pursuing hospitality from Nigeria, we have from Comoros, we have from DRC. And so it is from that aspect also that we are going to internationalize our hospitality